I'll get us started here. YouTube crowd, thanks for tuning in. We have a really special guest here today that we all have known from forums. And we got a topic on guides because guide calls have started sending out. And one of our first friends that we know is Jeff. And to introduce Jeff, I'm going to kick it over to Jimmy because Jimmy was the first one to know Jeff. And so, Jimmy, I'll kick it over to you if you could just give a quick 30-second intro of our buddy here.
Gotcha. A quick 30 seconds. So met Jeff through the forums. We were both at the New York International Auto Show, different days, but we both pre-ordered there. I pre-ordered on the 20th. I think you pre-ordered on the 24th, if memory serves correct. And kind of kept in touch through the forums, connected that way, like I said. Then the Atlanta event happened, and Jeff had brought a cousin down with him. I really wanted Nikki to go, so I flew Nikki. I was deployed overseas, so I flew Nikki down to the event and connected the two of them, and it's pretty much it. We've obviously kept in touch. Now through text and everything else, like I do with you guys, and then here we are.
So that's really cool. So I'll kind of like go into the topic at hand, which is guides. So, and I'll give a little backstory that Jimmy sends like a text to Skylar and I last Friday and it's like, dude's emergency meeting. So we had this emergency Zoom. And he's like shaking on the other end. And he's like, Jeff got an email from a guide. And so we were super pumped. I mean, the things that it takes to get Rivian fanboys pumped up. We were all super pumped for you. And we kind of immediately said, what if we could get Jeff on after he has initial contact with the guide and just kind of pick his brain about what the process was like and what you learned. And I'm sure they didn't tell you anything that you can't tell anyone else. You didn't have to sign like a NDA, right? Nothing crazy. Yeah.
Nothing like
that. Yeah, I'll start off with just the basic questions. Skylar and Jimmy, if you guys just want to interject at any time with any follow-ups, if you might have some questions for after, but I just have the basic questions. Can you tell me and the audience how, like some of the basics, how they reached out to you first, what happened after that, and then I know that there's things like the location that you're at and your configuration.
Sure. I'm on Long Island, New York. Like Jimmy said, I was at the International Auto Show. I guess their second reveal because they did their first one in LA. I went to the show on a Friday night, the very first night, and I saw the truck and I was blown out of my pants. I mean, like, holy cow. So I got my call on, what was it, Friday, right, Jimmy? It was Friday morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Friday morning at 11 o'clock. I got an email. And immediately I text Jimmy, holy crap. My Rivian guide reached out to me, and his response is, shut up.
Yep.
And then he and I have some conversation. And I don't know, it was like 2 PM. I reach out to him again, and I go, dude, you did get a guide, right? And he goes, no. And I was blown out again. I was like, what? How did that happen? So my configuration, just to give you an idea right off the top, is I did get the Rivian blue. I've always liked that color from day one.
Yep.
I was torn about that ocean mist interior because I think it really looks hot. It's clean, sweet. But I got a 95-pound beast. So I bring them everywhere. I don't know about the white, though. I just scares me, and I spent this much money. So I got the black. I didn't put the kitchen in there right away. I got the 20-inch wheels, the all-terrain. I do plan on using my vehicle. So I'm on Long Island. I do a lot of four-wheeling on the beach, super soft sand. I go to Vermont all winter long to snowboard.
Nice.
And, a foot, 2 feet of snow. I don't care. I just go. I'll leave in the middle of a storm knowing I'm heading into it, but the conditions are going to be great tomorrow.
Yeah. And it seems like the biggest things, and Jimmy and Skylar, you can jump in too, but I mean, the biggest things as far as affecting the place in line beyond the date is going to be exterior color and location, and then probably maybe just interior. I mean, I think we've seen a lot of black, right? I don't know if have we seen anything else as far as Ocean Coast.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not in farmland anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, and even in the farmland, I mean, they're talking about how your wheels could even change your spot in line. I read in one of the posts.
Okay.
So I'm not sure which wheel that is.
Yeah, it definitely looks like with regards to the guide emails received so far, the dominant combination is Rivian blue with the black mountain interior. There's been at least one with El Cap granite exterior and black interior also, I believe. And then, it's been primarily East Coast and West Coast where those contacts have happened that we're aware of. And Jeff, I'd love to hear just kind of an overview of your conversation with the guide, what you learned, what you took away from it, just kind of overall impressions.
During our conversation, I took some of the exact words that she had. I jotted them down, and she said that the reason I got called and what made them select me was basically my delivery location and my configuration. Like legit, she started out with my delivery location. That was the first thing in the whole conversation. So she starts out the process of it. She starts out with introducing herself and saying, I want to get to know you, and I want you to get to know me. Make it a little personal, and it was nice. And then the next thing she says, okay, let me tell you how you got selected. And she said delivery location. I did send her a text today, and she's very responsive. You can speak with her via text or email or a call. There's like a 800 number, 888 number, whatever, and it goes to the cell phone. And if she's working, she'll answer it. If not, you get this automated message. And then as soon as she comes back on, there's a response from her. So it's very good like that, start out with that. But she says it, delivery location, and then she says, I'm going to give you overview of what's going to happen in the next few months. She requested information about how I planned on using the vehicle. Like, I'm really curious, is how I plan on using it instrumental of me getting the vehicle over someone else?
Right.
Use it as bringing the kids back and forth to school?
Right.
Or, I are they taking that info also? I don't know. And I explained
my grandma's shopping.
Yeah.
Get this man a truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was that. I mentioned that we have a dog, and he comes everywhere with us. She made a point to say that, it's going to get something special in there for Havoc. That's his name, Havoc. I don't know if, it's going to come with the truck or she's going to send me something. Who
That's
knows?
cool.
They haven't sent me anything yet, but. Then the next thing we did is she reviewed my configuration, I should say. And she basically went down the whole thing. After that, she verified my address, and she said, I'm verifying your address for delivery. Again, going right back to the delivery location being number one. At that time, I inquired about pickup in Normal, Illinois at the factory, because I'd love to take a tour or get it from there. I'd get it as quick as I can.
Yeah.
She basically said that that's not going to be possible because they want to get it out to the areas where there are going to be service centers in certain locations, and that those getting the vehicles in Normal, Illinois are going to be within a range, a mile range or whatever it is. Not 1 mile, but, a mile.
Right.
They're trying to limit the traffic there because there's just so much going on there. And so many people want to go there as well.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, she reiterated location and configurator. And then she said that delivery would be, for me, the end of October. I asked if there was anything. Oh, no. She said delivery by the end of October, but then she asked me if anything prohibited earlier delivery. in the months prior to October. And I said, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Any vacations, this, that, out of the, I was like, no.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're in the same boat, Jeff. You're in the same boat that I put myself in 2 weeks ago. I mean, you sold that Tundra of yours a month ago.
Yeah, a little over. Yeah, just over.
Yeah,
Yep.
just over a month ago. So I mean, you're truckless right now.
Yeah, I'm like, I have a Subaru, my girlfriend's Subaru, and 2 Hoopies.
Yep.
Those are my sons, but I'm using their car. Anyway, I asked her if there's anything she could do to get me my truck sooner, and I told her I sold my Tundra, and she said she'd be pushing for it and do everything she could, but who knows? Again, maybe how I'm using it would help. I don't know. The next part, there really wasn't much more she could give me.
Right.
And the next part, she said she was telling me how the process was going to go. She said she was sending the order over to start getting it processed now that it was confirmed by her, my configuration and my location. Then she started talking about the next steps that I would be involved in. She said she said it would be called the education phase. And she said that twice at least. She said it would start out with some emails, and the emails would have in-depth information or knowledge of the R1T, because that's what I'm getting, and also EV ownership. She asked me if I had owned an electric vehicle before. I have not. I've driven, but I've never owned one. One of the things I got in my configuration was the wall box. She said that the next step in terms of being contacted regarding getting something would be the wall box, and she would be setting up delivery and install if I need it.
Cool.
So kind of sounds like that's going to come soon. The way she was talking, who knows? I'll install it myself. I qualify for that, but yeah, so that was interesting. And I did say, so I confirmed that I'm going to get this wall box prior to delivery, so that day one I'll be able to plug it in. She goes, 100%.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Then the next part, she asked me about. She said the next thing they'll be contacting me about how payment will be placed, and the services available. So if I plan on financing it myself or going through them, those services she would let me know that are available. She said all of this can be done online or phone service, 100% for everything along the process if I prefer that. I'm sure not going to hit enter because I'm afraid of losing my configuration.
Right. Yep.
Well, I will be speaking to someone before I press any buttons. Yeah. So again, based on location, home delivery only, and that's
Thanks.
all I can do.
Man, we really appreciate you taking notes. And honestly, even though that's somewhat general, I still feel like it was enlightening. I still feel like that's cool, kind of learning just a few of those things, like the wall box and stuff, the charger and all that kind of thing. So it's about what I expected, but really cool to hear from you. I know that the biggest thing we're all thinking of right now, all four of us, is, let me review the timeline here. Thursday morning, we get a huge update. We, as far as just the Rivian pre-order community and beyond, about timing updates, delivery timing updates, a 1 month delay from June to July. In that same update story, it says Guides will begin contacting pre-order holders this week, which was interesting because it was Thursday. So we're like, okay, that leaves today and tomorrow. The next day, a single day later on Friday, you get your call. And your timing is October. So I know what we're all thinking right now, pink elephant in the room, is this is one of the first contacts. And it's not delivery projected in July. It's the end of October is what I wrote down.
Right.
So what do you guys, just top of mind reactions, and this is not just for you, Jeff, but Skylar, Jimmy as well. What do you guys make of it?
Go for it first, Jeff.
All right. So I did ask her who was getting it in July. I said, if you guys announced that you're giving it delivering in July, who's getting it in July? And
Awesome.
she said, I wish I knew.
Yep.
Literally, she told me basically it was, again, my configuration and my location.
Mm-hmm.
But she could give me no information in July. I said, well, October probably means October 31st. And she,
right. Happy Halloween. Yeah.
you know, she chuckled then. Yeah, it's just, she did tell me that if I made any configuration changes, it's going to screw me up in the order. She said it's going to probably, most definitely delay my order. Any change at all.
Yep.
So,
Jeff and Skylar, do you guys have any kind of color commentary just on this gap and who might be July, or if it's just, what do you guys think?
Well, I'm Jimmy, Kyle.
Oh, sorry, Jimmy. Too many J's.
I don't know. It's interesting, you know. I mean, looking at the forums, some of the people that are posting are, you know, like one of the guys was like order number. Correct me if I'm wrong, Skylar, was like 1234. I mean, like the day that you could pre-order a vehicle, he did, and I think he's even getting the same information that it's, you know, end of October, something like that. You know, so who are these magical July deliveries? You know, who are these magical creatures? Is it Jeff Bezos and every single Rivian employee that pre-ordered, or are they all of the tour vehicles? You know, I mean, that's still a delivery. I mean, it's not a delivery to a customer, you know, because the tour doesn't start until August. So,
my biggest question is it really going to be earlier? Are they trying to set, let's call it, or temper expectations would be the better way to say it.
Right.
And, you know, is it possible that it could be a couple months earlier? Because we have heard people that said for the R1T August or September timeframe. I've also heard before November from other guide contacts, and you know, Jeff just said by the end of October, or you know, would there be any issue if it was earlier? And I think most people would answer no, that have been waiting for a while. But anyway, so I'm just curious to see what it actually turns out to be.
That's a good point, Scott. I thought, like, I wonder if they're really just trying to cover and like really give a date out, knowing that like they want to try and beat it. I've also thought that like getting cars to the coast, what we've heard, maybe this is wishful thinking for me being an hour away from the factory, but maybe just that transport logistics. You know, I mean, I guess you're just getting them on a truck and driving them to Long Island, but you know, maybe the only people getting it in July are going to be those very close to the factory who've ordered a truck, and maybe there's like 4 of those people, and that'll be the 4. I mean, even like a month ago when we're talking about this, when we're predicting whether there'd be a delay, we were kind of like, it'll probably just be like a few in June, and then ramp, and maybe that's what we'll see. Like, Skylar, Jimmy, do you guys have anything?
I'm just hoping that Rivian might give us a little insight into the process, just how they're working through the process, even if it isn't tied to specific timeframes, but if they know what configurations or you know the areas of the country or just how they're going to do it, how they're going to step through it, I think that would bring a lot of peace, if you will, to the pre-order community, just to where they'll know what to expect.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say something, and now I'm going to kind of rebut what Skylar just said. The only concern that I think Rivian has with getting a little, say that they come out and say that like Rivian Blue is going to be the first color that's going to come out for sure. You know, there's going to be a ton of people crazy enough to change, or if it's not Rivian blue, maybe it's white. There's going to be a ton of people changing their configuration and then overload the production queue for that particular color. I don't necessarily know if they're going to show their hand. I mean, we'll end up showing the hand for them.
Right. I know.
You know,
I was just thinking.
Yeah, it's going to come
way.
out, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't know. I think they're cryptic enough. They're going to do whatever they can to keep the craze down, because I mean, if you look in the forums, I mean, it started turning into the Wild West. I actually said that exact thing. You know, people will find a way to bump them, assume that they're going to bump themselves up further in the queue, and then they're going to end up what's going to probably end up happening is they're going to end up royally screwing themselves and probably push them further back in the queue in the process.
Definitely.
But I don't know. The other part I was going to say, it just seems like, I know, Jeff, you've chatted in a few times, obviously not as much as I have. Supposedly I'm famous. You know, I it's a part-time job, according to some people that I have. But you know, I think a lot of this too, you know, like you said, Jeff, is to get to know you and about your family and what you plan on, like you said, what you plan on doing with the vehicle. And then, like I said in past videos, work on that dossier that Rivian has on all of us. You know, it's wild. You can, you know, Kyle, when I was there normal, you know, I was talking about Kyle Schultz, and they're like, yeah, he's in Springfield, and it's just like, okay, like, you know, like, they know about all of us.
Yeah.
Obviously, some more than others, but the plan for sure is to get to know you as a customer. What you, like you said, what you plan on doing with the vehicle. What's your family like? You know, what kind of activities you guys into? All that stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you get a chance, please check us out at rivianstories.com. And every like, subscribe, and share helps. Thanks again.